And they're off. B-Trick shoots right out of that gate, quickly opens up 2 lengths on the field. Precision Perfect with the rail in second, followed by Siberian Mike third. Up on the outside, that's Afleet Alex in fourth, followed by Maybe Satisfied. And your trailer is New York Biscuit. Half mile to go, and B-Trick on the front end by 3/4 of a length over Siberian Mike. Afleet Alex is right there toward the inside, Precision Perfect. Now Maybe Satisfied is a close-up fifth, and far back to New York Biscuit, who's a distant trailer as they make their way into the turn. B-Trick leads it by 3/4 of a length. Afleet Alex now set the challenge in second, dropping back just a bit. Siberian Mike, Precision Perfect looking to move up, followed by Maybe Satisfied, and out of it, it's New York Biscuit. 1/4 mile to go. Afleet Alex now takes the lead over B-Trick as they head for home. It's Afleet Alex in command now by 2.5 lengths and drawing clear. B-Trick racing second, 6 lengths further back to Precision Perfect third, but it's going to be a hand ride down the lane for Afleet Alex in his debut. A nice debut for Afleet Alex. He'll win this one handily by about 7 or 8 lengths. And drawing away, B-Trick second best, Precision Perfect third. And they're off. Good start for all the young ones. Down toward the inside, Chaz Mandu away well up on the outside. Ease Your Mind, Afleet Alex toward the rail. Right alongside Tip City, and the trailer is Monster Chaser as they move down the back stretch. Chaz Mandu leads it by a neck. Right there, Ease Your Mind second, 2 lengths to Afleet Alex, trying to angle off the inside now for some clear sailing with Tip City right alongside of that one. Then a gap of 2 more lengths to Monster Chaser, beginning to move up from the back as they race into the turn. Chaz Mandu sets a speedy tempo, 21-4 that opening quarter. Chaz Mandu leads it. Here comes Afleet Alex, ready to challenge. 2 lengths further back, Monster Chaser's moved into third. Tip City toward the outside, and Ease Your Mind is your trailer as they wheel home at the top of the stretch with Afleet Alex on the outside. Now taking command, Afleet Alex opens up 2 lengths quickly and begins to draw away from Chaz Mandu. It's 5 lengths further back to Monster Chaser, but they might be chasing a monster here. Afleet Alex under a hand ride down the lane. Here's a 2-year-old to keep your eyes on. Afleet Alex romping to victory once again and doing it in handy fashion. Wins it by about 8 or 9. Monster Chaser up for second. Chaz Mandu third.
And they're off. Winning Expression comes away first. There goes Lunar Pal quickly up for the lead. Lunar Pal, Winning Expression going head-to-head. Flamenco right there in the early mix running in third. Departing now fourth toward the inside. Consolidator moving from fifth. And Afleet Alex is sixth and only 3 lengths from the lead. Maximus C is now seventh on the outside. Calypso Band is now eighth. Smokescreen ninth toward the inside. 3 lengths back to Gold Joy. And the early trailer is Firepath. 22-1 for the opening quarter. Rounding the far turn. It's still Winning Expression going head-to-head with Lunar Pal. Consolidator right there third. Here comes Afleet Alex. Moving now fourth on the outside. Flamenco just in behind the lead and running along in fifth. Maximus C takes to the far outside. Now sixth. They're at the top of the stretch, and it's wide open here. And Afleet Alex comes away with the lead at the 8th pole. And kicking in impressively. Afleet Alex bursting away to lead by 2.5 lengths. Winning Expression is second. Flamenco on the outside third. Then Lunar Pals drop back, and they're coming down to the line. And Afleet Alex very impressive in the Sanford. Won by 6 lengths on the wire. Flamenco just in behind the lead and running along in fifth. Maximus C takes to the far outside. Now sixth. They're at the top of the stretch, and it's wide open here. And Afleet Alex comes away with the lead at the 8th pole. And kicking in impressively. Afleet Alex bursting away to lead by 2.5 lengths. Winning Expression is second. Flamenco on the outside third. Then Lunar Pals drop back, and they're coming down to the line. And Afleet Alex very impressive in the Sanford. Won by 6 lengths on the wire.
And they're off. Devil's Disciple looking for that early lead from the inside. But Storm Surge is quick out of there. Flamenco and Winning Expression. Flamenco, Winning Expression head-to-head for the lead. Devil's Disciple is now third. And then Consolidator moving to fourth, followed by Storm Surge. At the back of the pack early, Afleet Alex and Wild Nature. Afleet Alex in between horses, 5 lengths from the leader. And the leader is Winning Expression. But there goes Devil's Disciple slipping through on his inside. On the outside, Flamenco. Those 3 through a quarter in 22 seconds flat. Afleet Alex is fourth and down on the rail. Storm Surge is alongside him. Consolidator under a ride, and Wild Nature around the far turn. Devil's Disciple has come through to seize the lead, but Flamenco is right there with him on the outside. Winning Expression. And Jeremy Rose now asking Afleet Alex for more run. They ran a half in 44 3/5 seconds. Sizzling pace in the slop here. It's Devil's Disciple and Flamenco. Afleet Alex swings into action on the outside. He's 3 lengths behind at the top of the stretch. Devil's Disciple on the inside, and he digs down deep, and he's holding on to that lead. Flamenco is all out trying to get by him. Afleet Alex is third. He's a length and a half behind, but he's wandering to the outside. And it's Devil's Disciple in front. Afleet Alex now veering in as they come down to the finish. Devil's Disciple, Afleet Alex. Afleet Alex won. Zigzagging his way through the stretch at Saratoga. Afleet Alex has won the 100th hopeful, defeating Devil's Disciple in the shadow of the wire. Flamenco finished third. It's Devil's Disciple and Flamenco. Afleet Alex swings into action on the outside. He's 3 lengths behind at the top of the stretch. Devil's Disciple on the inside, and he digs down deep, and he's holding on to that lead. Flamenco is all out trying to get by him. Afleet Alex is third. He's a length and a half behind, but he's wandering to the outside. And it's Devil's Disciple in front. Afleet Alex now veering in as they come down to the finish. Devil's Disciple, Afleet Alex. Afleet Alex won. Zigzagging his way through the stretch at Saratoga. Afleet Alex has won the 100th hopeful, defeating Devil's Disciple.
In the gate, ready for the start of the Juvenile. And they're off. Slow beginning for Scandinavia. Not so for Consolidator, who bounces out quickly. And there goes Twice Unbridled to be the long shot leader as they race for the clubhouse turn. Wilco on the outside. Consolidator is now third toward the rail. And then in between horses, Proud Accolade up and on the pace early. He's running along in fourth. Scandinavia after that slow start, fifth on the outside. Sun King saves ground toward the rail. Roman Ruler at the back of the pack. And Afleet Alex is conserved in the early going here. Not so for Twice Unbridled. Twice Unbridled opens up 2 on them. 23-2 for the opening quarter. Consolidator sits back second. And then on the outside, Wilco in the clear, running along in third. Sun King is moving sweetly. Fourth on the inside. Proud Accolade and Johnny Velasquez sitting chilly aloft him. There goes Afleet Alex now with a bit of a move down the backstretch run, drawing within 5 lengths of the lead. At the back of the pack, Roman Ruler, who's on the inside of Scandinavia. The half in 47 2/5 seconds. The field moving into the far turn, and they're about to overtake Twice Unbridled. On the inside, Sun King, and there goes Consolidator. Consolidator and Sun King now, those two going at it. Afleet Alex driving on the outside. Will go with a drive, but is now shuffled back to fourth. 2 lengths back, Roman Ruler hitting his best stride now. He's coming within 4 lengths of the lead as they make the turn into the stretch. Proud Accolade is sixth. Afleet Alex powers up on the outside. Now he's in front. Afleet Alex the leader as they come down to the mid-stretch marker. Consolidator is battling on. Sun King's not done yet. And on the far outside, a resurgent Wilco into the final 16th, and it's Wilco in front, and he's going to pull off a huge upset here. He'll pay $50 to win. Wilco does it, winning by a length and a half. Afleet Alex was second, and all has left some American trainers very disappointed here.
And they're off in the Mountain Valley. And smoke, smoke, smoke explodes for the lead. Between horses, Razor's right there at the rail, Rocky River. Another length further back. At the inside is Dr. Meatball, followed by Sir Laugh-A-Lot. Afleet Alex is at the back of the pack as they move down the back stretch. Burning up the pace now, it's Razor and Rocky River, and those two are flying down the back stretch with the lead. Smoke, smoke, smoke in third. At the rail, it's Dr. Meatball. Afleet Alex has passed Sir Laugh-A-Lot now as they head for the turn. The opening quarter very fast, 21-3. Rocky River at the rail, Razor alongside, those two cutting out the fractions. It's 4 lengths back to Smoke, Smoke, Smoke. Afleet Alex to the outside in fourth. Then dropping back is Dr. Meatball. And here they come into the stretch of the Mountain Valley. Razor leads it by 2.5. But on the outside, here he comes. It's Afleet Alex under a full head of steam. Moves up into second. Razor's got the lead. Afleet Alex now moving up alongside of him with Jeremy Rose. It's 2 back to Smoke, Smoke, Smoke. A furlong out, and it is Afleet Alex who goes up alongside of Razor and now is going to move on by. Afleet Alex and Jeremy Rose going on to an impressive win in the Mountain Valley and on to the Rebel. Afleet Alex wins it by 2.5. Razor finishing second. Smoke, Smoke, Smoke was third. The 6 furlongs reached in a minute 9 2/5. And they're off in the Rebel, and Rockport Harbor stumbled just a bit. And on the outside, there goes Greater Good for the lead.
In a shot, Greater Good takes command, followed by Batson Challenge, while Afleet Alex is at the rail. There goes Rockport Harbor up to the outside, followed by Jazzy Gallop and Copy My Notes. And it is Rockport Harbor now who tugs Stuart Elliott to the lead. Greater Good showing speed today is second. Afleet Alex is in the middle in third. And down at the rail, Batson Challenge is fourth. The opening quarter, 24 seconds. This is not fast, but Rockport Harbor's running off with Stuart Elliott's got a 5-length lead. Afleet Alex has now moved into second. Greater Good is still right there, third by 2. Batson Challenge fourth, and then it's 5 lengths back to Jazzy Gallop and Copy My Notes. Rockport Harbor has laid down the gauntlet and opened up 3.5 on Afleet Alex. Greater Good is still there in third after a half in 47-1. There's still a half a mile to go on the Rebel, and it's Rockport Harbor by 2.5. Afleet Alex in pursuit second. Greater Good dropped back to third, but he's only about 7 lengths off the lead, followed by Batson Challenge. They're on to the final turn. It is still Rockport Harbor by 2.5. Afleet Alex second, 5 lengths back then to Greater Good in third. And now they're going to reach the 3/4 in 1:12-2. Here they come into the stretch of the Rebel. Rockport Harbor leading by 2. Afleet Alex is second. Batson Challenge has now moved up to third inside of Greater Good. Rockport Harbor is showing the way. In the middle of the track comes Batson Challenge and Greater Good. Afleet Alex is all done. There's a furlong to go. Rockport Harbor leads it. Here's Greater Good, picking him up, laying him down on the outside with a 16th to go. Greater Good digs in. Rockport Harbor to the rail. Greater Good, Rockport Harbor, a classic finish going to Greater Good. He'll win the Rebel by a head. Rockport Harbor runs second. Batson Challenge was third, and the mile and a 16th was raced in a minute 44. And they're off in the Arkansas Derby. A sharp break from Greater Good on the outside. Down toward the middle, there was Canteen getting away well. Joined out there by Flower Alley. At the rail, Batson Challenge. Afleet Alex is also right there. They come by the grandstand the first time. And with the lead, it's Canteen to his inside Batson Challenge. Middle of the track, Flower Alley is third. Andromeda's Hero bursts his way through at the rail in fourth. Afleet Alex alongside is fifth. Greater Good staying out in the middle in sixth position, followed by Real Dandy. Down along the inside is Rush Bay. At the back of the pack, Wild Desert and Catshaker. The opening quarter mile, 23 seconds. Batson Challenge leads it a length. Under a stout hold, that is Canteen right there second. The outside, Flower Alley running third. Andromeda's Hero fourth. Afleet Alex up to his outside. Greater Good is 8 lengths off the lead in the middle. Followed out there by Real Dandy to the inside Rush Bay. After that, Catshaker and Wild Desert past a half in 47-4. They're heading for the final turn now, the Arkansas Derby, and the leader is Batson Challenge. Canteen still second, Flower Alley third. Andromeda's Hero has an opening at the rail. Afleet Alex is out there to the middle, moving up strongly. On the final turn, and moving up on the outside, there goes Afleet Alex. And it is Afleet Alex who rushes up quickly to the outside. Alongside of him is Canteen after 3/4, 1:12-3. Here they come into the stretch of the 69th Arkansas Derby with Afleet Alex showing the way. Canteen has dropped back. Flower Alley is right there in third. A late charge trying to come on from the others, but Afleet Alex has kicked it into gear. One of the most impressive Arkansas Derby wins ever. Afleet Alex blowing the field away. He'll win this one by a good 8 lengths. Flower Alley will finish second. Andromeda's Hero third. Real Dandy fourth. The mile and an eighth in a minute 48 and 4/5 seconds.
And here are the horses for the 131st running of the Kentucky Derby. A full field of 20. Number 1 is Bob Baffert's trainee, Sorted Out. And Baffert may have won 3 Kentucky Derbies, but he's 60-1 today. Sorted Out, who was second in the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland, his last race, hoping to become the second New York-bred Derby winner. Number 2, Andromeda's Hero. This is one of the Nick Zeno trainees, a son of Fusa Ichi Pegasus. Andromeda was the Greek goddess of dreams. Her hero Perseus saved her while riding the winged horse Pegasus, and a son of Fusa Ichi Pegasus, a long shot. Number 3 is Sun King, named by Tracy Farmer's wife Carol for Louis XIV, the Sun King, racing in Louisville, by the way. He's won 2 of his 3 career starts. He was 4th in the Bluegrass his last effort. The 4-horse Noble Causeway, Zito trainee, brought $1,150,000 as a yearling at Keeneland. He is a son of Giants Causeway, owned by Leonard Riggio's My Meadowview Farm, and Riggio is the chairman of Barnes and Noble. He's a horse that's been improving every time and ridden by Gary Stevens, second in the Florida Derby. The 5 horses Coin Silver, South Carolinian John Ford operates Peachtree Stable. He had the long shot Invisible Ink, who ran second here in 2001. In the Lexington 2 weeks ago, he was the winner by 3.5 lengths. P-Val picks up the mount. Number 6 is High Limit. Bobby Frankel, who has dominated trader standings in previous years, looking for his first Kentucky Derby win. Ramon Dominguez rides. He won the Louisiana Derby, then trying to rate for the first time was second in the Bluegrass Stakes. Number 7 is Flower Alley. The blinkers on for Todd Pletcher. Owner Eugene Melnick is from Barbados. Flower Alley is a street in the capital of that country, Bridgetown. 4 or less starts for these horses. Well, they're 0 for 33 since Exterminator in 1918. By the way, happy birthday. It's Flower Alley's birthday, May 7th. Number 8, Greater Good. 71-year-old Bob Holthus is the trainer. This horse takes medication for epilepsy. He did win the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes as a 2-year-old here at Churchill Down last year. He was 5th in the Arkansas Derby when he was really washed out and exercised very nervous before the Arkansas Derby. 9-horse Greeley's Galaxy. Owner B. Wayne Hughes put up $200,000 to make him eligible because he wasn't nominated for the Triple Crown. He used the race War Emblem used as a prep 3 years ago, the Illinois Derby, which he won by 9.5 lengths. Number 10, Giacomo. Giacomo is the Sting's nickname, the pop star for his son Jack, and the music connection, well, Jerry Moss, the owner-breeder, founded A&M Records. Santa Anita Derby, he finished 4th. Number 11 is High Fly. Nick Zito trains. He's had 5 weeks off since he won the Florida Derby. Only Needles in 1956 had 5 weeks between his prep and the Derby, but of course there haven't been many prep races 5 weeks out. He's won 5 of 6 lifetime. Afleet Alex is the 12th horse. Jeremy Rose, his first Derby mount, and Tim Ritchie, his first Derby trainee. Winner of the Arkansas Derby by 8 lengths, had a lung infection, finished 6th in the Rebel, his only bad performance. 13, Spanish Chestnut. Well, does he have big ears and a fuzzy tail? They say he's a rabbit. His mother's name, ironically enough, is Baby Rabbit. Derek Smith and Michael Tabor own him. He's going to be a pacemaker for his stablemate Bandini. Number 14 is Wilco. Greg DeLassy in his first Kentucky Derby. Wilco hasn't won since he took the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, trying to break that jinx. In fact, the first 3 Breeders' Cup Juvenile finishers are here today. Wilco has earned over $1 million. He's raced 14 times. 15 is Bandini. Bandini named for an Italian sculptor, with last year's Eclipse Award-winning trainer and jockey Pletcher and Velasquez teaming up, winner of the Bluegrass by 6 lengths. 16 is Bellamy Road. Bellamy Road, of course, is the favorite under Javier Castellano, his first Kentucky Derby mount. Bellamy Road, $87,000 purchase by George Steinbrenner. That would even buy you a good mitt for some of his high-priced Yankees. Number 17, Don't Get Mad. B. Wayne Hughes, the second horse in the race. Ron Ellis ran him in the Derby trial a week ago. It's been 91 since a horse ran in the Derby trial, came back in the Derby itself. That was Ali David, who finished 14th. But Ben Jones, the great one, used to use it as a prep. 18, Closing Argument by Successful Appeal. That's the lawyer connection there. He was 3rd in the Bluegrass Stakes behind Bandini. Before that, he handed High Fly his only career loss in the Holy Bull. And number 19, we saw Bob Baffert training the number 1. Well, here's Wayne Lucas, the trainer of Going Wild. He has won 4 Kentucky Derbies. The owners, Bob and Beverly Lewis, have won 2, but this is a long shot. 7th in the Wood Memorial and 5th in the Lexington Stakes. I need to catch my breath. Let's take a break while the horses warm up.
Of the 131st Kentucky Derby. 23-year-olds in line. Spanish Chestnut breaking from post 13. And they're off in the Kentucky Derby. And Bandini and Spanish Chestnut both broke quickly. Bellamy Road is right there with them. And on the far outside, it's Going Wild. So a stampede under us for the first time. And as expected, it is. Spanish Chestnut in front. Going Wild right there on the outside. Bellamy Road not far behind in 3rd. Flower Alley is 4th. High Fly 5th between horses. Closing Argument 6th on the outside. High Limit is 7th at the rail, and Bandini is running in 8th position. Sun Pink 9th toward the inside. Buzzards Bay is 10th. Afleet Alex in tight quarters, running 11th, 3 lengths back. Point Silver is now 12th toward the inside. Noble Causeway is 13th. Andromeda's Hero is now 14th. Wilco 15th. Greeley's Galaxy 16th. Giacomo 17th in between horses. Sorted out as 18th. And then Don't Get Mad is 19th. And Greater Good is the last of 20. 45 1/5 seconds, among the fastest opening half miles ever in the Kentucky Derby. In the role of the pacemaker, it is Spanish Chestnut. Ball Rally second on the inside. Javier Castellano is now asking Bellamy Road at the half-mile pole. Going wild in between horses, so too High Fly. And Buzzard Bay making a move on the outside, closing argument. Afleet Alex trying to thread his way through between horses. He will go inside as they round the far turn. 3 furlongs to go here. They ran 3/4 in a bruising 109 and 2. And here comes Bellamy Road, who's charging up on the outside. High Fly is moving with him. Spanish Chestnut is weakening. Afleet Alex is in behind them. Closing argument is in with the chance there on the outside. Buzzard Bay coming down the middle of the track at the top of the stretch in the Kentucky Derby. High Fly, Bellamy Road, closing argument on the far outside. Here comes Afleet Alex charging through between horses. Giacomo, don't get mad, late charge on the far outside. Coming down to the finish, closing argument, short lead. Giacomo, Afleet Alex, it's a 3-horse photo finish. And on the wire, it's Giacomo, who has won the 131st Kentucky Derby. Close for second, closing argument, and Afleet Alex, don't get mad, was fourth. The final time was 2:02.3. So it is.
And John Sheriff's the trainer in his first Kentucky Derby, is the 3rd straight trainer to win on his first try, and it's set up perfectly for his style.
We saw a lot of early speed early on, but set up with Spanish Chestnut and Going Wild, and then Buzzards Bay and several of the South California 3-year-olds really make their presence felt here. But right now it's closing argument, who's been really outrunning his pedigree here on the East Coast. Afleet Alex on the rail there, looking like he's going to get it done. But Giacomo coming from out of nowhere with Mike Smith, a great run.
And here's an isolated look at Afleet Alex, who comes between horses here, passing Bellamy Road there.
He never fails to run his race. He's just all courage and determination, and he really runs a good race. Good third here in this Kentucky Derby, only beaten a length or two, but certainly probably a disappointment after all the excitement these people have had all week with him.
And here is the
Going Wild, and here to call the Preakness, Tom Durkin.
There is the 50-1 winner of the Kentucky Derby, Giacomo. And to his outside, the horse that many expect to make the pace here in the Preakness, Going Wild. 14 ready to go in the 130th Preakness, and they're off. And Greeley's Galaxy got squeezed back at the start once again. Wilco comes away in between horses. There goes closing argument with some early speed. Scrappy T down toward the inside. Going Wild, he's going to be caught very wide. And High Limit is up there too. Going Wild trying to make his way to the inside, but High Limit is there. Now High Limit's got the lead. Going Wild alongside second, Scrappy T just in behind lead and running in third. Galloping Grocer fourth on the outside. Closing argument is now fifth. Wilco 3 wide and sixth. And then it's High Fly who rides the rails with Jerry Bailey. They're seventh now. Sun King is eighth, followed by Greeley's Galaxy. Off poorly, he's now ninth toward the inside. Afleet Alex is racing in 10th. Giacomo is 11th, just as he did in the Derby. He's well behind in the early going. Then a break of 3, back to long shots, Malibu, Moonshine, followed by Hal's Image on the early trailers, Noble Causeway. The half went in 46 seconds flat. Not that frantic pace we had in the Derby, but this pace is strong nonetheless. And it's High Limit going at it down the back stretch here with Going Wild. High Limit short lead. Going Wild, Scrappy T under a long hold there, right in behind the lead and running third with the half mile to go. Galloping Grocer is asked for more run. Bailey has taken High Fly to the outside. Closing argument, trying to pick his way through in between horses. Greeley's Galaxy is gaining ground with a big move there down toward the rail. And then Afleet Alex, he's bottled up down toward the inside, followed by Sun King. Giacomo's got a lot to do, and less than 3 furlongs to do it. He's 10 lengths behind and caught in some traffic now, and Scrappy T comes away with the lead, but Afleet Alex is taking a bull run. Oh, Scrappy T blew the turn, and Afleet Alex, Jeffrey Rose almost fell out of the saddle. A dramatic occurrence at the top of the stretch. Here's Afleet Alex, who has come on to take the lead. Scrappy T blew the turn, and he's second on the inside, and it's 5 legs back. Giacomo will manage only to be third. They're coming down to the finish, and in dramatic style, Afleet Alex, who almost fell at the top of the stretch, has won the Preakness by 5 lengths. Scrappy T was second, and finishing third, I believe, was Giacomo and Sun King. Jeff had a really anxious moment there at the top of the stretch. He's not anxious now. He is euphoric.
Well, Tom Durkin, it was a scary moment And Jeremy Rose, his first Preakness ride, it had been his first Derby ride also. Here's what happened with Scrappy T, who blew the turn, and I thought the jockeys were going to come out of the saddle.
I'm telling you, here's Afleet Alex coming up right now around high limit. There's Scrappy T on the very left and the orange sleeves there. Now watch. Afleet Alex will come up outside him. Scrappy T looks like he's going fine here, but as Afleet Alex draws up beside him, there you see his rider, Scrappy T's rider, going to a left-handed whip. He ducks out from that, comes right across. Afleet Alex nearly, he does clip his heels. My God, he goes to his knees. What an amazing performance. Think back to Ali Sheba in the Kentucky Derby some years ago when he went to his knees in the stretch. And there he continues on. It doesn't even faze him. Like Ali Sheba in the 87 Derby, he just keeps right on running.
And the stewards are having a close look as well. You see them rewinding the tape to look at that incident again. Let's watch it in super slow-mo. Scrappy T, Raymond Dominguez, the jockey, blowing the turn. Dominguez pulling on his left rein, and behind him, Afleet Alex going to his knees. How Jeremy Rose stayed aboard, I don't know. But not only does he stay aboard, but he gathers himself, the colt gathers himself, and wins going away. There with Donna.
Jeremy, that was absolutely amazing.
So let's go to Tom Durkin.
Indy Storm moves into line. Here is Chekhov to complete the field of 11. They are in the gate. And they're off. And Pinpoint breaking quickly toward the inside. Apiero with some early speed on the outside, Southern Africa, as they make their way into that first turn. Chekhov caught very wide. Indy Storm is also in the early mix. So they move into the first turn, and it's Pinpoint to be the leader. Apiero alongside him. Southern African rather, on the outside runs in third. Chekhov is 4 wide, while fourth. Giacomo's got a good spot early. He's running fifth toward the inside. He's only about 3 or 4 lengths from the early lead. Very close for Giacomo. Indy Storm on the outside is now 6th. Watchman is 7th in between horses by 2 lengths. And then it's Afleet Alex, who is now running in 9th position. On the inside, Reverberate. On the outside, Andromeda's Hero. And a long way back to Nolan's Cat. The first quarter went in 24 and 2/5 seconds. They run the opening half mile in 48 and 3, so the pace is slow to develop here as they begin that long run down the Belmont backstretch. And it's Pinpoint with the lead. Apiero right up and on the pace, running in second. On the outside, Southern Africa third. Chekhov just a length and a half behind the lead in fourth. Giacomo is moving sweetly at this stage. He's fifth, only about 3 lengths from the lead. Then it's Watchman, 6 toward the rail. Indy Storm is now 7th. Afleet Alex is still lingering at the back of the pack. He's about 10 lengths from the lead with 5.5 furlongs to go. Andromeda's Hero on the outside of him. Reverberate to his inside, a long way back to Nolan's Cat. 3 quarters in 12 and 4. So Pinpoint is trying to do it all the way on the lead here. Pinpoint is still the leader as they approach the far turn. Southern Africa on the far outside. And there goes Apiero. And there goes Giacomo. Giacomo rallying on the outside and rallying boldly. Indy Storm is following him. Afleet Alex. Jeremy Rose is yet to make a move on him. He's still 5 lengths from the lead, and he's running on strongly. And now the field approaching the top of the stretch. Giacomo on the outside is the leader as the field turns for home. But here comes the Preakness winner, Afleet Alex on his outside. And Southern Africa battles on at the rail. And Afleet Alex just ran right by Giacomo like he was standing still. Afleet Alex opening up with a tremendous burst of energy. He's 5 lengths clear at the 8th hole. Andromeda's Hero is now moved into second. Southern Africa third. Giacomo has faded. Nolan's Cat. A compelling, outstanding performance by the plucky Afleet Alex. He won by 6 or 7 lengths. Andromeda's Hero was second by another 7. The maiden Nolan's Cat was third. Indy Storm was fourth. They came to the top of the stretch just outside the quarter pole. Looked like Giacomo was going to run away from him. And then Jeremy.
There's Afleet Alex. Wow. Chelsea, you said that move that he made before the incident in the Preakness was really picking him up and laying him down, and it looked like that he was really going to blow by Scrappy T in that race. Well, today everyone was sort of wondering what was happening. Giacomo was in front of Afleet Alex early. They came to the top of the stretch, and man, did he take off.
And Jeremy Rose waited and waited and waited, and then when he came towards the quarter pole, he let him rip, and he had that same turn of foot that he's had in every race. My apologies for ever doubting for a minute that anything took anything out of him. What a little super horse. Giacomo, who taken the lead from Southern Africa, he hustles him a little bit, kind of chirps to him, gets him moving, and then it's Katie bar the door. He's just gone. He's just gone. What a sensational little horse. He wins it. The rest really basically are nowhere. Andromeda's Hero does come along to get second. But what an exception. He said, you know, everyone's called him an iron horse. They've called him a little super horse. He's just all heart and guts and talent, and frankly, they ought to mail the Eclipse Award to him this afternoon.
A good story of the sports world in 2005. Afleet Alex wins Andromeda's Hero with that late close, a distant second, and the maiden, Nolan's Cat. Vindication for Dale Romans and Ken Ramsey. He gets a piece of it, closes to get